So tonight, I want to talk about one of the marks of wisdom, and that is being able to entertain ideas without accepting them as being true. Now, what this does is it lets us play devil's advocate. It lets us explore different facets of ourselves that we may not have known were there before, and it lets us try on different character traits that we may not be able to otherwise do in our daily lives. And it's essential for reading, it's essential for thinking, philosophy, and queer people and transgender people, LGBTQ people. When you're exploring who you are, um, you have to be able to entertain ideas without necessarily accepting them right away as being true, and you have to find out what's true for yourself. But to find out what's true for yourself, you have to first be able to entertain an idea and know that it may or it may not be true. So it's perfectly fine to think that, okay, I might be queer, and then think, okay, yeah, I'm straight. It's perfectly fine to fluctuate like that. Perfectly fine. And we all grow and change as we go through life. And that freedom to explore like that is central to the United States and in the Constitution. And now Trump is trying to take that away from the vulnerable among us, namely kids in their teenage years who may just be figuring out, oh, I'm queer or I'm trans, and they want to try on different pronouns. So what Trump has done is he's passed an executive order that would make it a felony or a very serious crime if a teacher in a public school system uses the pronoun opposite that of the biological sex. That is not freedom. That is not being able to entertain ideas without accepting them as being true. That is the opposite of wisdom. And I don't think grooming is really a thing when it comes to people being queer or trans. And at some point in your life, you'll figure out you're queer or you're trans. If you are, you'll probably have some idea in the back of your head. And you'll have your quirks like me, wicked sense of humor. And, and you'll figure it out eventually. It's important, though, that you be able to come out and say, hey, I want to try this other pronoun on and see if it fits. And pronouns are light years removed from anything like hormones or surgeries. Pronouns are ideas. They're mental constructs that exist up here. And it takes a level of literacy to be able to explore that. And when you're trying to be a dictator and you want the population as dumb as possible, having a pronoun debate is threatening. And I suppose that's one reason why dictators go after LGBTQ people and queer people, is because they challenge that fundamental they bring that wisdom up of being able to entertain ideas without accepting them as being true and figure out who they are. And I look at what Trump's doing with that order, and it's sad. And my personal opinion on being queer or LGBTQ is you've got to be able to figure out who you are before you do anything with physically transitioning. And you've got to do it for your reasons. And in me, I've not done anything. This is all fake. This is just makeup. And just being able to come out like this feels good. And And when I look in the mirror, I like the person that I see here. And at the same time, I can't ignore the man in the suit who goes to work every day. And I look at both facets of myself, and they both have to exist together. And I don't want to hurt either of them. They're both me. No, at the end of the day, I'm the same person no matter what. And that's true for any other queer, trans person, even a straight person, especially a straight person. We're the same people no matter what. And being able to try on different pronouns and say, hey, I'd like to try the pronoun she out, see if it's me. Or I'd like to be able to try the pronoun they, them out. And I like the pronoun they, them. I look at having a very strong feminine and masculine facet of myself, and I'm like, okay, they, them, we take both pronouns, and like, okay. It makes logical sense to me. Now, maybe that's not the logical sense that someone else would make, but again, that's the mark of wisdom, being able to entertain ideas without accepting them as being true. And I look on the progressive side of things, and a little bit of that I think has been lost over the years, and I think that's where a lot of moderate voters have been lost to the Trumpsies, because on the progressive end, like even straight men, um, they have needs too, and I'm not sure that the queer movement is doing everything it can to address their needs. And yeah, there's a lot of Nick Fuentes is out there, and to him, so much hate. I don't even know what to say. But I look at that, and it's I because I'm straight from a biological perspective. I'm a biological man. I like women, and I look at that, and that facet of myself is not insignificant. And I look at the feminine side of me coming out, and it's not simple. It's not simple at all. Like, I want a family. I want a girlfriend. And at the end of the day, I want her to like me, whether I'm dressed like this or I'm dressed in the suit. And I think simplest is usually the best. And simple means if you can be happy as your biological sex, be happy as that. But if you want to transition, hey, there's nothing wrong with it at all. And I can hear the conservatives saying, yeah, but that costs money. It's going to be a lifelong slave to the medical system. Well, we need a better medical system, no matter how you look at it. And I look at what MAG is trying to do, just create absolute misery, enriching the billionaires. It's like, they're just kids in school. They're just figuring out who they are, and they're not even going to give them the right to choose their own pronouns, and that is self-determination. And I can see the fear there, though, that, oh, the parents are making them be trans or queer. Let me tell you, it's very hard to be pushed into being queer. Um, it's there. It's there. I mean, you'll know it. You can try and fake for many years of. You can try being normal and straight, but you'll come out. And by forcing people to conform and use their biological pronouns, you're only hurting people in the long run. And from a masculine perspective, it's stopping the creation of certain kinds of men, mainly gentle men and kind men, and men who are not the Übermenschen, the kind the Nazis, the Trumpsies like. Men who would stand in their way. That's what pronouns do, and that's how important this is, this pronoun thing, because it gives people more self-knowledge, and it's okay to be soft and to have empathy. And that's what this is all about, really. This regime that's coming in, it's depriving us of empathy. And I think a lot about it, and I wish I could sleep at night. Yeah. Have a good one, everybody.